She doesn't exist, maybe. Why are you talking
anyway,
about who may not exist?
Why are you?
Because I think you exist.
Okay.
I don't have a confusion
You're lost.
like you have.
Doing it bad
Did you feel
from
bullied?
Ignoring my own disability with hearing and belittling it is
No. Never did. No. Don't play the victim's cards. Could you be a brain in a jar in a museum?
Maybe, I don't know.
You don't know?
I don't know.
How can you be sure?
I just said I'm not sure. I don't know.
How can you be sure?
I just said I can't be sure. I don't know.
Look, you made a statement, I cannot be sure. How are you certain that you cannot be sure?
Because I have uncertainty.
You have uncertainty.
How
Are you
can
certain about your uncertainty?
No, I said I don't know.
Did you hear what I said?
Are you certain about your uncertainty? I'm uncertain about my uncertainty just as I'm uncertain about my certainty.
What does it mean you're uncertain about your uncertainty?
It means I don't know. It means I'm capable of admitting when I don't know something.
Yeah. So you could be non-existent either, right, at the moment? Does she exist?
Maybe.
Maybe. So he thinks you probably don't exist. Maybe.
Did I say she probably didn't exist, or did I say I'm not sure she's actually there? For all I know, I've suffered some psychotic break in a mental hospital, and this is all due to my imagination. I can't be sure.
You can't be sure. Is there a way of making ourselves sure?
There are ways of achieving near certainty. You could measure it. You could tangibly.
So you can't be sure about anything.
I've been open that I have bipolar 1. I've had hallucinations. I saw things that weren't there. Humans are flawed. They are not perfect.
Is there anything you would like to say about this? Mason.
Mason, I just have a question. Mason, I have a question. You spoke about rights, human rights, and you're an atheist. Now, if I put forward a proposition, I want you to tell me whether you agree or you disagree with it. I think an atheist cannot believe in human rights.
I disagree.
How?
I have my own subjective morals, and subjectively, I've decided what I believe human rights are. Everyone has a right to food, everyone has a right to medicine, people have a right to not be discriminated against on the basis of class, creed, sexuality, sex, gender, income status, skin color, religion.
You didn't actually answer the question.
I did. I said I have my own subjective.
I said how?
Human rights.
How can an atheist believe in human rights?
I've just told you.
No,
I've come up with my
you
own
didn't.
human
What you
rights.
did, Mason, you categorized what you believe in. You didn't justify it.
I justify.
Can't go your tongue?
No.
Can't stop talking
My
fast now, can you?
philosophy
Now,
is
what I
that
want you to do
any
is to
number of
justify
people,
it. Try
you
again.
all have a choice. Let's say I knew that I was going to be born into a universe and I had to design that universe. But the catch was I entered that universe in a random setting. I could be her or you or you or you or you. I wouldn't know if I'm going to enter the world as a king, an emperor, or the poorest person in the world. So I have to design a universe that I want to be born into. I use that as a system to categorize rights. A system in which I would be happy to be born into any echelon of society is how I determine what I think human rights should or should not be.
Are you reading from a script?
No. I've developed my own rhetoric.
Then engage in a way that we can understand each other. Rather than
I'm saying that I've created my own philosophy on human rights based on something that you would be happy being born into.
He wins in court. He wouldn't win against a schizophrenic pigeon. I'm asking you a question and you're not answering it. Let me try again. How can an atheist justify... Wait, I haven't answered
You
the
just
question.
make
How
up your
can an
justification.
atheist
It's all subjective.
justify
That's the
their
whole
belief
point.
in human rights? So let me break something down. Human rights...
Okay, I believe
Wait,
that all humans have virtue by virtue of existing.
You
Because
are
we all have
laying
basic
out your
needs,
belief, you're
basic
not
wants.
justifying
We
it.
all have basic rights as sentient,
Okay.
sapient creatures. That is my justification. You might not like my justification, but there it is, and that's what it is.
Okay, so
because you are alive, because you have needs and wants, because you can feel pain and
He doesn't win
suffer,
court.
you have
I
rights.
can't imagine him winning in court. Let me just remind you of something. An assertion is not an argument. So
That's
when I
my
ask-
justification. You don't like it, but I've given it to
One
you.
second,
You
one
have
second.
basic human
Okay,
rights, in my
let me
opinion,
repeat that again.
justified because you can suffer, because you have wants and needs. That's why I determine how I justify
Let me
giving people
modify
human
my
rights.
statement. Asserting louder doesn't make it an argument.
Exactly.
You asked for justification, I've given it to you. You might not like it, but
Okay.
there it is.
Let me explain to you how justification works. He's a lawyer, you said?
I've got my Juris Doctorate and I'm a PhD student.
You're a PhD student in what?
No, I mean...
Criminology.
Criminology.
No,
Okay,
no,
one
really.
second.
I mean...
In criminology, say you want to convict somebody, you need to put together justification and evidence. You heard of those things?
Yes.
Okay, good.
We
So
wouldn't call it
when
justification
I'm
and
asking
evidence.
you about human rights, I want you to justify and give evidence for your belief in human rights, not to lay out what you believe. Is that simple enough for you to understand?
Yes, and so my justification is people have wants, people have needs, and that's the justification for giving them basic rights. Can a person suffer? Yes. Okay, then that in and of itself is justification for human rights and human needs. I believe that suffering is wrong subjectively, and that is a justification I've given for creating human rights. I get that that might not work for you. You believe in some objective religious system for your beliefs, but I don't believe in objective morality. Therefore, you don't need objective morals to provide a justification for human rights. Your own subjective beliefs and opinions can inform what you believe human rights ought to be. It's subjective belief. Never even said I was
Okay,
an
have you
atheist,
finished?
just assumed I
Have you
was.
finished?
I was hoping that
Have you finished? Can I speak to him, please? Have you finished? Did anyone hear him justify human rights? Can anyone repeat what he said?
Yes, on the basis of mores, not morals.
Can you come and join him because he needs a bit of help? Please come here.
There's a difference between mores and morals.
No, stay here.
Mores inform morals. Both ways inform morals. Our morals are informed by our learned experiences and our own extrapolations of those learned experiences and paradigms we're brought up in.
Right. But we cannot
Wait,
know,
1 second.
ultimately, we cannot know an objective morality.
I agree.
Insofar as one exists.
I said I fully agree with
I
that.
agree. I agree with most of what you've been saying.
why don't you just
but
come
the point,
here?
The point. I hope everyone can hear. The point is, there are morals and there are mores. Mores are things that we all agree upon in society, right? If we all agree
Okay, first-
that
first
rape
that's-
is okay,
wait.
that is a more.
Wait,
That is not a
I'm
moral.
aware.
That doesn't make any sense.
How does that not
Wait,
make
no,
sense?
no,
Every
that-
society
wait,
is mores
wait,
in
wait,
both
wait,
ways.
wait, 1 second. All human beings, if we agreed there would be no wars, you wouldn't need to actually study criminology because no one would do crimes. Human beings don't agree. Now, if your justification for human rights is people, then people all across the world come across different ethical systems, different normative systems. If you're going to go to biology, then that's a different kettle of fish because we could have evolved a different way and therefore we would have different morals. So you can't actually justify human rights as an atheist.
I can't.
All you-
I've subjectively said that's where my morals come from. They come from the fact that I personally, as a subjective person, believe that the fact that people can suffer, the fact that people have wants and needs and are sapient is justification enough for us to ensure basic
Is suffering wrong?
needless
Objectively.
suffering is wrong. When we can
Objectively.
mitigate suffering, I believe that we have an obligation to
You said
mitigate
he does
suffering.
criminology, PhD, or
It's called the ethics of care. The ethics of
Wait, one
care
second,
and the
one
ethics of
second.
formalism
Let
and
me
care
ask you,
are
let me
one of
ask
the
you.
guiding criminological theories
Let
in
me
the
ask-
Western world.
Okay,
They've been
look,
defined.
if you wanna talk louder
No,
and
what I'm saying
longer
is
and
you're quite
assert,
simply
it's not
talking
gonna make
over.
a difference.
The
to
ethics of care
I'm
and
gonna ask
formalism
a
and
question
care
so
is one of
everybody
the
can
guiding
hear,
philosophies
and I
of
hope that you can
criminology.
answer the
Cognitive
question.
criminology.
And if you can
Yes, I'm
talk
giving you one
louder
of our
than me,
leading
you're gonna keep
criminological
trying,
theories
and you can
in the
keep
modern
asserting
world,
yourself
in the Western
again
world,
and again
in
and
our
again.
criminal
So what I'm
justice
gonna say to you
systems.
is time and time again, is suffering wrong objectively?
When we can mitigate suffering, we have an obligation to do so subjectively according to my
answer the
worldview.
question?
Yes, he
No,
did.
he didn't.
I did.
Yes, he
Let
did.
me ask you again.
You did.
Mansur,
My
please,
answer
seriously.
will be the
Mansur,
same
let me
as
ask
you re-ask the same
Is
question.
suffering wrong objectively? Yes or no?
Suffering is just suffering. It's not right or wrong, but I believe that we have an
Okay.
obligation
Okay.
to mitigate suffering when we have the ability to do so.
Let me just explain
I
what he
don't
just did.
believe anything's
What
subjective.
a Matis?
Mason.
Mason. What Mason just fell into is a tautology. He said suffering is suffering. Well done. Fantastic. No one knew suffering was suffering. What does that even mean?
What I'm saying is
What
you
does that
can't
even
put morality
mean?
on suffering.
That's
Suffering is just a thing in and of
tautological
itself.
statement.
It's not moral or
It's not
immoral.
saying
If I
that.
fall and scrape my knee, that's not some moral or immoral action that's occurred. I've simply fallen and I'm now suffering because I've hurt my knee. The morality comes in when other people see me suffering. When you have a choice between giving me a Band-Aid so I feel better or kicking me when I've fallen, that's where morality comes in.
You said a lot of things, you didn't answer the question. Is suffering wrong objectively?
I don't believe there's objective wrong or right for suffering.
Okay. So you believe it is not wrong objectively?
Sure.
Okay. So if you don't believe it's wrong objectively, then your entire worldview has no foundations.
I disagree.
How?
Because my worldview and its foundations come from whatever the hell I feel like it is. We're all subjective creatures. We come up with our worldviews based on our learned experiences and our own extrapolations from those experiences. That's how I create a foundation for my views. You might not get that because you've not operated out of the same paradigms in life that I have. You've not come to the same conclusions, and even if we had the exact same life, you and I could come to completely different ideas about what is right, what is wrong, as foundations for our moral views. That's humanity. There's 8 billion of us. We're all going to have our own little variations in what's right or wrong. The foundation for those come in our upbringing and how we then process our upbringing in the world around us to make our own choice about what's right or wrong.
Mason, one second. Mason, in the last 20 minutes, you've actually just repeated yourself continuously.
Because you keep asking the same questions.
No, because you don't answer my question.
I've given you an answer. You're just not satisfied with my answer.
My question. So let me go back to something that we spoke about before. You said you believe in human rights as an atheist, okay? You believe in human rights as an atheist. So I'll ask you a question. You believe we evolved, right?
Yeah. Science says we did.
Okay, we evolved and we have our particular anatomy right now and we have our particular psychological states that we have because of natural selection. So,
well, not just natural selection.
Well,
there's a huge pressure of sexual selection.
You don't need to teach me. I know what I'm doing.
Oh, right, okay.
It's not very obvious.
What do you mean? What's not very obvious?
All right. No.
I'm just pushing. Keep going.
Just stick to the arguments, guys.
No, as in, you're not being coherent when it comes to your point of view, but you want to sort of.
I've said the same thing again and again. You've just not accepted it as being my subjective point of view.
So, for example, right now you believe suffering is not objectively right or wrong.
Agreed. Suffering in and of itself. However, what we do about suffering, I do have
You're going to
morality
repeat
about.
yourself again, right? You're just going to repeat yourself again. Okay. So, natural selection is the primary cause of our biological inheritance that we have today.
Sure.
You agree with that? So our entire cognitive architecture has been basically shaped by selection. So our beliefs have also been shaped by selection.
Yeah.
So your belief about, say, X could be something like a person deliberately runs over a child and kills that child. So that belief that is wrong, is that wrong because that act itself is wrong, or is it wrong because natural selection selected it to you to believe it to be wrong?
We have a predisposition to think it'd be wrong because of natural selection, but there are people out there who justify murder, and to them, subjectively, not that I agree.
Again, you're not answering the question. Again, you're not answering the question.
Again, I'm saying that I think that it is shaped by natural selection to be wrong, and that I subjectively.
Shall I make it simpler for you? Because you don't seem to be getting it.
I am. You're asking, is my belief system, my morals, shaped by natural selection? Yes, as is yours.
That's not the question I asked.
I know it's not.
I
said that yes, it's shaped by natural selection.
What did I ask you? What did I ask you? Just to see if you're listening. No. I want you, because look, when you talk and you go on your monologue for like 10 minutes, I'm listening to you.
Again,
however, when I'm talking and I'm spoken for a very short period, you weren't actually understanding or you weren't listening. So what did I just say to you right now?
I've been fairly open that I'm hard of hearing. Even with everyone else here, I still have trouble.
Wait a minute.
One more time.
Wait a minute. That doesn't make any sense. So you gave a long answer to a question you don't remember and you don't understand. What does that tell about you?
I'm having trouble hearing.
About him or you.
Yes, so ask your question again.
What are you insulting one another?
I thought that you were saying that. Are you saying that natural
Next time,
selection
before
shapes your
answering,
morals?
get your questions clarified.
Mason, what you have is a script. You have a script. I'm asking you a question, and rather than actually answering the question, you formulated an answer without listening to my question. Therefore,
I'm saying if you believe that I misheard your question, repeat your question so I can answer it.
No, it's a very simple thing.
Ask your question again, and I will answer it, or choose not to, and I won't answer it. Say it again, and we'll move on, or I believe you're arguing in bad faith.
Okay. How can somebody give a long answer to something that they don't remember? That's what I'm concerned about.
I didn't say I don't remember. I believe you asked was did natural selection shape my moral point of view? And that's what I think you asked. That's what I heard. Is that what you said? Yes or no?
I'll ask again.
Just yes or no before you answer.
What was that?
Did natural selection shape my moral point of view? What I believe is right or wrong, my ideas about human rights. Is that what I asked? Then could you repeat it so I can hear it?
I will do. Okay.
Again, I think you said something that
Okay.
I'm not sure.
Okay. Can I speak to him one to one if that's easier?
Well, let somebody else speak because you
No, could you ask again?
Do you want me to ask again?
Yes.
Because it's kind of trying to.
Sorry, bro.
And you can ask everyone else here. I've been having issues with volume the whole time.
Okay.
They don't exist.
Is
Probably.
Okay, is something good?
Did
Okay.
you say my hearing issues didn't exist? I brought them
No.
up beforehand.
People may not exist because you're not sure about whether their existence.
Let me ask. Let me ask.
So ignore them. They might not exist.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you. Let me ask you.
I think we know people exist.
You don't exist either, maybe.
Is belief X? Is belief X about something? Is that belief true because natural selection selected you to believe it's true, or is it true because that belief is true?
I'm predisposed to have that belief because of natural selection, but I have been given some small measure of sapience and intelligence to then try to formulate or rationalize why I believe it. And when I can't rationalize it, when it doesn't make sense to me, I reject it and I look for new ideas, new philosophies. My ideas have changed throughout time. I used to think that I had no internalized sexism, and then I realized that just because I could articulate my biases did not yet mean that I had overcome my biases. So that's life. While I'm predisposed to have certain feelings or ideas because of natural selection in and of itself is not my justification for those ideas. Because a murderer who is predisposed to have a lack of empathy might be able to justify
You're going on
murder
a
in cold
monologue
blood, while I
again.
can't.
Look, I'm going to stop you there. I'm
Question.
I'm answering an extrapolated.
Why don't you come here and talk as well? Okay. Okay. Wait. One second.
Just give me 1 second. What? Would you summarize his answer?
You're being bullish.
Do you mind summarizing? You don't even know what you said.
Okay.
Thank you. You don't even know what you said. Wait a second. Wait.
Excuse me.
Continue.
1 second.
I don't think
Do you mind summarizing the answer?
I don't think.
Do you mind summarizing the answer?
I'm not talking to you.
I asked.
Wait. Listen.
Excuse me.
But-
Did you listen? Can you summarize? Anyway,
Look,
carry on.
look. The whole problem here is this. The whole problem is someone's trying to defend him, but they don't even understand what he's actually saying. So Mason, stick with me.
You understand everything,
Let me
don't you?
look. You're used to. You said you do something in courts.
You don't
Do
understand.
cases.
The rest of us
Okay.
don't.
Yeah.
You put forward a case and people challenge it, or you defend it, or something like this, right? That's sort of your role. Okay. What if
Usually
I?
on the side of the prosecution.
Okay. What if I put forward a role? What if I put forward a proposition and I want you to tell me whether you agree with it, you disagree with it, you want to challenge it? How about this? Okay. So, human rights is based upon morality.
For me personally, yes.
Let me just lay it out. Okay. Proposition 1. Human rights is based upon morality. Okay. 2. Atheism undermines morality.
I reject
Okay, one more
that.
second. Therefore, atheism undermines human rights. So I put
Reject.
together. Okay, 1 second. I put together 2 propositions and a conclusion. Now, of these 2 propositions, which ones do you want to challenge?
I don't accept either of your premises.
Okay, so.
But first, I would like you to argue why
okay,
atheism undermines morality.
Okay.
Make the positive claim.
Okay. What was my first premise?
Your first premise was that human rights are based on morality, and then your second premise was that atheism undermines morality. So therefore, atheism undermines human rights. If I'm understanding what you said correctly.
Why do you disagree with the first premise?
Because the first premise is that morality is figured by human rights. That is subjective to me. I don't know that everyone thinks that or believes that.
Do you agree or disagree with that premise?
I agree with it for myself, but I don't agree with
Okay,
it for
so you
everyone.
don't disagree with that premise.
Yeah.
Okay, fine.
But
good.
again, just
But
for me personally, because I
Look,
believe it's subjective.
I'm just looking for clarity. Okay, so you don't disagree with the first premise, you disagree with the second premise.
Yes.
Okay, good. So the second premise, what's wrong with it?
I don't believe that atheism undermines morality, but okay, here's this, right?
No, wait,
Christianity.
why?
Wait. Just giving you an
Don't
example.
talk about Christianity.
No,
Let's talk about
I'm
atheism.
giving you an example of making a positive claim. Christianity undermines morality. Do you agree or disagree?
I don't want to answer that because that's gonna get because
I'm not actually looking for an answer. My point is, I made the claim.
One second.
My point is, I made the claim, so it's on me now to justify it. So I want you to justify why you believe atheism
Mason, 1 second.
undermines morality before I answer anything.
Look,
Why do you believe atheism
Mason,
undermines morality?
Christianity does not undermine morality for me, but let's get back to the premise which I want to defend.
Yeah, so I'm saying,
I wanna
tell me why atheism undermines morality, and then I will give you my justification as to why I don't believe
Okay,
it does.
so I put forward the case and you're going to challenge it.
No,
Okay,
don't listen
so the
to
second
him.
premise. Okay,
Shout.
just a quick thing. If the 2 premises hold, do you agree that the conclusion is decisive?
No.
Okay, why is that?
Why would it be decisive? Atheism undermines morality, but atheism in and of itself is simply a lack of religious
No.
beliefs.
Then you're disagreeing with the premise. I'm asking you
Yes,
this.
I said I disagreed with the premise when you first gave it.
No.
Because atheism is a lack
Mason,
of
I
beliefs.
just asked you.
An atheist
Mason,
could
one
be
second.
an anarchist. An
Mason,
atheist could be
I
a
asked
secular
you.
humanist.
I
a
asked you
secular
if the
humanist
two
is going to
premises,
extrapolate different morality than others.
if the two premises hold, the conclusion is decisive. That's what I
I
said.
disagree.
So you don't believe the way the logic follows that way.
I don't believe that the premises lead to the conclusion
Okay,
that
I
you've
don't think
given,
you understand
because
what I'm
I
saying. But
believe that you have a fundamental
let's just go back to the
misunderstanding
premise.
of
Okay,
atheism.
so I'll justify why atheism undermines morality. Okay. Morality is something which is objective.
I disagree with the premise.
Let me explain why. The reason why it's objective is if it was not objective, you could not enforce it. And you
I
were.
disagree. We enforce all sorts of
No.
subjective shit like laws.
No.
Given to us by God.
You cannot.
The cannabis ban is fully subjective. Cannabis has plenty of medical uses that we could protect legally.
Look,
just because it's banned does not mean it's
is
immoral.
not right. Just because someone applies a false system doesn't mean the false system ontologically is true.
That's exactly what I'm saying.
No, that's what I'm saying.
Yes,
So
and I
you're
was
saying
agreeing
the
with you
opposite.
as a reason as to why.
You're actually saying when I was explaining this, you said, but people do it all the time. People doing it all the time doesn't justify it.
That's my point.
No, that was your point, and I said it was incoherent.
How is it incoherent? My whole point is that just because
wasn't I putting together the case?
something is subjective
Wasn't I putting
does
together
not
the
mean
case?
that it is moral or immoral.
Mason,
It cannot be enforced.
Mason, wasn't
you
I
said
putting
that because
together the
it's
case?
subjective, it can't be enforced.
So-
I'm saying
so
our
the
laws are
Mason-
subjective. We as humans came to a conclusion on them based on a number of different philosophies and
Mason,
ideas,
Mason,
not all of which are fully compatible.
Mason,
and just because
for
those laws
something-
exist
Let
doesn't
me
mean they can't be enforced just because they're
put it
subjective and
forward.
ordered.
Mason, let me put. I'm
Continue,
supposed
sorry,
to.
continue,
I'm supposed to be
continue.
putting forward.
When someone's speaking, let them speak.
No.
Do you think he hasn't been doing that the whole time? The whole time he's been doing it. Yeah, the whole time.
Well, are you getting anything out of it?
No, I'm talking to him. He's talking most of the time.
What he's saying.
I was putting forward the case. You're going to challenge it, right? So when
Yes, but, okay,
let
so
me lay out the
you
case.
said,
Let
like,
me
in
lay.
courtroom, this is
Let
where I
me
would
lay.
object to then challenge your premise because it is a
If
false
you, but,
equivalency.
okay,
So I would
if
be objecting here,
Okay, wait, one
judge
second,
would
one second,
sustain, I would make my
one second.
argument.
I do this in Speaker's Corner just to see if people are even listening. What's absurd, sir?
What?
There you go.
I can't hear
Okay,
you.
there you go. There you go.
Ask him
So
what's
all you
absurd.
get from the atheist side is from the
couldn't
lady of
hear
saying,
your
"Oh, that's
question.
absurd. That doesn't make
Hello,
sense."
are you deaf?
So
I
now we're
couldn't
gonna
hear your
carry on,
question.
okay? So we're gonna
It's
carry
been
on.
You've also done this to me as
I hope you
somebody.
enjoyed that.
You're
I
a
hope you
genius.
enjoyed that. I hope you enjoyed that.
What's absurd? He said.
We
What's
know you're a
absurd?
genius.
What's
We know
absurd?
you're a genius.
He
said,
You've been
what's
coming
absurd?
here
We
for
have
30
somebody
years.
here. We have somebody here who I'm
It
going
tells
to
a lot
show
about your
them
personality,
that
doesn't it?
atheism under. Are you listening? Are you listening?
She doesn't exist, maybe. Why are you
So
talking
anyway,
about who may not exist?
let me.
Why are you?
Because I think you exist.
Okay.
I don't have a
You're
confusion
lost.
like you have.
Okay.
So why are you
So-
turning back and speaking to her? She may not even exist
Atheism
from your own
leads to
words.
subjective morality. Do you disagree with that?
But she exists to him.
I disagree with that as well.
How can you disagree with that?
Because
You
atheism
said
is
that
just a lack
earlier.
of religious belief. There are plenty of atheists who are in some degree spiritualists. Atheist is just a lack of a belief in a god or divinity.
You're going from ethics to theology. I said something
You're
different.
making a theological
I said
argument about atheism.
atheism leads to subjective
Yes,
morality.
and I'm saying that I also reject that premise.
Why?
On the grounds that atheism, I don't believe leads to subjective morality. You're giving a premise and then not justifying it.
Fine.
It's like
Can
if
I justify it? Can I justify
Yes,
it?
I'm asking
yes,
you to.
I'll tell you what. If you believe in God, then you believe in objective morality. But if you don't believe in God, there's only two options left, which is biology or society.
I disagree with that as well.
Let me. You can disagree,
disagree with
what you
yourself.
want. Okay. So let me explain.
Never said those were only two
let me
options.
explain to you
False
what's going on.
dichotomy.
So when it comes to biology, as Darwin gave the example that if we were reared under the same selective pressures as bees, we would as human beings have moral, ethical ways of going about which we would today find horrific. So we could have evolved in a different way and had a different set of morals. So Dawkins puts it another way that, basically rape being wrong is as subjective as the fact that we have 5 fingers rather than 6.
And I disagree with Darwin on that. But I would also
That's
think
fine.
that
You
Darwin
can
would
disagree.
disagree with that, given that
You can-
Darwin
you can
was a
dis-
staunch
you can-
Christian
you
who believed in God, who followed
You
Christian
can disagree with
ethos.
Darwin all you want, but Richard Dawkins says that, not Darwin. So you
Then
weren't
why'd you
listening.
quote it to Darwin?
No, Darwin for the bees, Dawkins for the fingers.
No, you said Darwin said that rape wouldn't objectively be wrong, but
No,
Darwin is a
I said
Christian.
Dawkins, Richard Dawkins.
Okay, Dawkins, sorry.
You disagree with Dawkins then?
I, again, think all morality is subjective.
No, but you said you disagreed with the statement when you thought it was from Darwin. Do you disagree with it that it's now from Richard Dawkins?
No, I was having an issue with you saying that Darwin was saying that because he was a Christian.
Now, if Dawkins said it, we'd be okay.
No, I think rape is
We got two
subjectively wrong.
questioners against one person.
Okay. No, but that's exactly what he's saying.
Okay,
So you agree
one
with
more
him?
time, I'm sorry.
Anyway, okay. So atheism, let's go back to this. Atheism leads to subjective morality, and the first reason why is because biology itself, if you use it as a source of ethics, it leads to subjectivity. Okay. The second is society. Now, if you leave it up to society to decide morals, then collectively we as human beings, we can come up with different moral systems, and they would be equally as invalid and equally as subjective. So since atheism doesn't believe in God, they don't have a moral system outside of themselves, they can't go to biology and they cannot go to society. Therefore, atheism leads to subjective morality. Why do you disagree with that, sir?
Because plenty of atheists have all sorts of different ideas that aren't inherently, they themselves thinking they're subjective. They think they're as objective as you think yours are. I'm saying I disagree with your premise. A lot of people think their morality is objective when it's not. Because I'll tell you what, if you're a Christian today, you're going to believe different things than a Christian 2,000 years ago, even if you're utilizing the same text in the Bible, the same Christian text. Exactly. Because your morality is not objective. If it was objective, then members of your faith, assuming you get it from an objectively powerful, all-knowing, all-powerful higher power, would not have changed it all. In fact, that it's changed means it's not objective. It means it's subjective. It's changed to keep up with the times. Atheism does not lead to subjectivity because subjectivity is not unique to atheism. It is not a result of atheism. It is simply as a result of humanity. Is it a result of people and their beliefs? I don't believe that any of your faiths are objective, even as you keep them as being objective generations for morality. I mean, I'm sorry, if you're a Christian, do you believe that, I don't know, let's say you kill a man, you should have to take his wife, pay whatever reparations you've got and take her as your own wife? If you're a Christian, do you agree with that? I don't know what your faith is. I'm not
The
agreeing
problem
with
here is you didn't actually answer my question.
Do you believe that we should stone? Do you think that we should take children? No, I'm saying, are you a Christian? Don't answer if you're not comfortable
I
answering a
explain,
specific
I
thing.
justify, wait 1 second. I justified to you why atheism leads to subjectivity, and I broke down that into
Yes, okay. I responded by saying atheism does not lead to subjectivity. Subjectivity is our innate point of being. That's why I reject
all you
it.
did is you explained, according to you, and it's something I disagree with, that subjectivity is something that you can get outside of atheism, and therefore it's not exclusive. Therefore, you cannot say it leads to it.
Exactly.
No, I
Atheism does not
disagree
lead
with
to
that.
subjectivity.
I disagree
and
with
I
that.
disagree with
No,
what you're
okay,
saying.
okay.
Please defend it now.
So let's put it this way. Why is it? Because earlier you were disagreeing with what Dawkins said and stuff. Why
I
is
didn't
it?
hear what you said. I asked you to repeat
Okay,
yourself, and you chose not to.
okay,
Just as you
one
asked
second.
that man a
One
question,
second, one
and you
second.
asked you to repeat it because he couldn't hear it and you ignored it. Just as you did that to me earlier. And I'm sorry, as a
Atheists are
person,
selective
it's kind of
hearing
hard when I
today.
can't
Okay.
hear.
The atheists are hearing today, selectively.
I
Anyway,
had issues with hearing when the preacher over there was talking about men getting cystectomy.
That's
he's
fine.
less than 1 meter away.
That's fine.
Hearing the whole time.
It's okay. That's fine. It's
I'm a
fine.
religious person.
I'm also not an atheist. I just don't think we should use religion to justify our morals.
Okay. You don't justify your morals regardless, because you're saying you don't want to use religion to justify your morals, but you yourself have only laid out what you believe and where you get it from, as opposed to trying to justify it.
I told you, I come up with my own ideas on human rights and morality.
And those are basically meaningless.
Okay, if you think my views are meaningless, fine, that's your own set of views on it.
I'm not saying I believe they're meaningless. I'm saying objectively they're meaningless.
And I'm rejecting that. Because I see your objective objective morality. Anyone who has objective morality that stems from religion, I then ask why religion 300 years ago and today has different ideas about morality. It's different interpretations of the same moral text. If there's one all-knowing, all-powerful
Can I answer
deity,
that?
and they've given us a moral
Can
set
I
of
answer
systems,
that?
why does it change?
Can
the
I
fact
answer
that
that?
it changes means it's not subjective. Because if it was
Okay.
subjective, it would never
So
change.
one thing I
Now
like
you
to do.
can answer.
Let me answer that.
Yeah, but
So,
let somebody else speak.
well,
because
don't worry. Anybody can speak here. Okay. So what the gentleman Mason said, is
They can
this:
drill.
if morality is objective, why do different people have different conceptions of morality? Therefore, morality is
I'm saying,
subjective.
why do members of the same faith have
Well, same faith, different faith doesn't matter. Okay.
No,
Now,
same faith does matter.
okay,
because
fine.
you're saying get it from your
Why
faith
do
and
members
that's
of
subjective.
Why do members of the same faith? So now we're going to use his logic, and we're going to apply it to a different field. So the phenomena of cosmology, of the beginning of the universe. It has many different interpretations from the same scientific field. Therefore, we cannot describe this phenomena in an objective way.
Tell me
So
a
when we take
single
his logic,
scientific theory,
wait, one
capital
second,
T
one
theory,
second,
one
one
relax.
second.
Gravity
One
is a
second.
capital T
One
theory.
second, one second.
Gravity is
One
something we know.
second, one
Evolution is a
second.
capital T
One
theory.
second,
It's
one
something we've
second,
established.
one second.
Plate tectonics is a
Wait,
capital T theory.
wait.
It's something we've established.
One
There's
second,
no
one
capital
second,
T
one
theory
second,
for the
one
beginning
second.
of the universe. The fact that there is no subjective theory for the creation of the universe means that science has no
Okay.
objective answer for how we're there.
Okay.
The fact that scientists say we don't know when they are ignorant
Look,
of it is
all
the right thing to do. When
look,
you don't know,
look.
you say, I am ignorant, I don't have an idea yet.
You
There are
get-
lowercase t theories. I might have a lowercase t theory that
You're
the
talking
wind
a
is
lot, but
generated
you're not
by
making any
heat.
sense.
It's only when
You're
it's
not
off.
actually making any sense.
You
All I
You
did,
don't
all I
understand what
did,
scientific
all I
theory
did, let me
is.
repeat again, Ali, what I said, because you're just a newcomer and I like your jacket. Yeah? All I did is this. He said, wait 1 second. Mason, I'm not going to misrepresent you here, yeah? What you said is if morality is objective, why do members of the same faith have different views, therefore it's subjective?
Yes,
That's
and
what
you said, so why do members of
No,
science
one
try to
second,
think
one
that
second, one second.
science
Then what I said is,
objective?
let's take
I've
your
dealt with
logic.
biases in
Let's
science
take your logic.
forever.
So what I said is, let's take your logic
Yeah.
and let's apply it to physics.
Okay, so you
So
said,
in physics,
Yes.
in the same field,
Okay.
for the same phenomena,
Alright.
you have different schools of thought, different physicists with different interpretations. Therefore, there's no objective reality to the beginning of the universe or any other scientific field.
yes, okay.
What does that show? Your incoherency of your worldview when applied to science.
No, you've just equated
it
science
comes up
with
with
religion.
conclusions which are absurd.
Here's this, right? Evolution is a capital T theory. We know that evolution is real,
It's a
although our
capital
understanding
E.
is capitally is constantly changing. We understand plate tectonics is a capital T theory. Plate tectonics is real, but our understanding is constantly changing. Gravity is a capital T theory. We understand it, but our understanding is
That's a
constantly
category
changing.
mistake.
But the creation of the
That's a
universe,
category mistake.
but the creation of the
That's a
universe
category
doesn't have a
mistake.
single capital
Don't
T
worry.
theory. We
You
don't
can come
have
in
a
and speak
single
on
theory that says the Big Bang happened this way because of this
That's a
mechanism, this
category
mechanism,
mistake.
and this
That's a
mechanism.
Would you come and
The fact that
support
we
if
don't
he was a
have that
Muslim?
means we don't have an objective
yes, I
answer.
would.
We don't even have a working objective answer that our understanding of is constantly changing. Science is not the same as religion. Religion requires faith. It requires belief without evidence, whereas science does not require faith. It requires
Okay, good. The monologue's over now. Let me explain why what you said was a category. Why it was a category error. Let me explain why it's a category error.
Explain yourself.
The reason it's a category error is
I gotta go.
he is mistaking epistemology for ontology. What I said is different views. You don't need to protect him. I'm not gonna patronize him. Don't worry. It's fine. He can talk for himself. He's a big boy. He can talk for himself. He can talk for himself.
You don't exist.
Can I
Why are you
complete my
calling
point?
Nobody's protecting
Is you calling it
Fine.
subjective or objective?
You don't exist, madam.
Okay.
She does exist. Like you exist.
Okay.
Is that subjective or
Everybody
objective?
exists.
That's what he believes.
We all exist.
He
We all exist.
He doesn't believe that she
No, but I
100%
mean-
exists.
Okay, let me
You may
explain.
not believe
Let me
that.
explain why what you said was a category error. Okay? I'll explain why what you said is a category error. Wait, one second.
Explain to us.
He's okay. The reason why it's a category error is this. You have mistaken, Mason, you have mistaken epistemology for ontology. I was speaking from an ontological perspective. If there's different views about something, it doesn't mean there's no objective reality to the beginning of the universe. So, what you did in your answer is you mistaked my ontological. Are you listening?
Oh, now he's calling. Now he's calling.
Look,
Why are you calling them out?
Why are you trying to take him away?
She was also. We planned on that.
She can call, but not you.
Are you?
I don't know that, Kai.
He's saying, are we bullying you? He's saying we're bullying you.
You're not bullying me.
Did
but
you
I
feel-
truly
did you feel
and honestly
bullied?
believe you're arguing in bad faith.
Did you feel
from
bullied?
Ignoring my own disability with hearing and belittling it. Is
No. Never did. No. Don't play the victim's card. Wait, let me defend
I'm not
myself.
playing victims. I'm saying that you've
Don't
been
play the
acting in
victim's
bad
card.
faith the whole
Let me state it in public. I never discriminated you against your hearing. I said people are selectively hearing when an argument is not defendable. Playing victim's card is not going to help.
Okay.
Shameful. No, this is very shameful. How in public people play the victim card and accuse so that they can get the sympathy.
Against four of you. One guy against four and more will come.
Look.
He did well.
I'm not Muslim.
No wonder. No wonder. No wonder.
Alright, let me guess. Let me guess. Is it 4 jihadists against him?
He did
Just
well.
to clarify.
He did well.
Sorry. May I ask why?
Okay. Why do you help him? Did you hear something?
I'm not helping him.
brother a jihadist?
But I tell you what I thought.
brother a jihadist?
I'm not helping him. I've never met him. First time I've met him. Okay? But I just thought maybe you were all ganging up a little bit.
No. Do you know why his rhetoric doesn't help?
He has got, obviously, he's got his opinions and you've got your opinions. You both have different
But do you know
opinions.
how a monologue like this, reading like a script, doesn't help engaging?
I'm not taking sides either with you or him. I'm trying to understand where you're both coming from.
Did you understand him?
You know, I understood him, but I also
Can you
understand
summarize
you,
something?
You know.
Can you summarize something that he said?
Because I've come here by accident, so I'm not a speaker.
Yeah, but do you see something? This monologue that he had,
see if something's unfair.
these are scripted monologues, people who think they know what they're talking about, but they're not answering the question that is asked.
Yeah, but-
That's why when he was
Yeah,
grilled,
but-
what are you answering? He says, oh, say that one more time. Maybe I couldn't hear it. And then he played the victim card, or I have a disability in hearing. That's not how you should say. You should have said it from the very beginning that I have problems with the hearing.
Someone get the violins,
Right?
bro.
Unfortunately, today we saw someone who is pretending to be an atheist when he is not, and trying to play the victim's card when the argument is presented is weak. That's really, really sad. I'm just telling you there is a sad state of affairs when we see certain people pretending to be an atheist and when they're not representing it.
But was he atheist?
Anyway, how are you?
I'm fine, how are you?
Good, thanks.
He was atheist.
That's fine.